Red Button means we're live, a casual take with your boy Steven Pepper. Here to give a take off my chest. So, as we all know, the Steelers are in the market for a starting quarterback this year, as both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are free agents. But according to reports, the Steelers are going to get the ball rolling on the quarterback search this week. Per Adam Schefter, the Steelers are determined to sign a quarterback this week, and Justin Fields is first in the pecking order. Now, if you're a long-time listener to the show, you know I don't really like Justin Fields. In fact, I think he's a backup. And a backup as your starting quarterback, especially the AFC, just isn't going to cut it. So I think the Steelers should go elsewhere, and I'm going to throw out a name. And I don't think Steelers fans particularly find this name fascinating, but I think the Steelers should pursue Aaron Rodgers as their starting quarterback next year. Listen, Steelers fans can say what they want about Aaron Rodgers and all the drama around him, but let's face it, it's a quarterback league, and you don't have a quarterback. That's a problem. And bringing in Rodgers, he immediately becomes the best quarterback for this team since prime Big Ben. That's pretty good. Now you can say, oh, Rodgers was bad next year. I don't know, man. I'm looking at these numbers, and they look pretty decent to me. Aaron Rodgers in 2024 with the disastrous Jets still was 8th in passing yards and tied for 7th in touchdowns, just for 11 total interceptions. I think Rodgers at 42 still has a season of that left in the tank if he can go to an organization like Pittsburgh. But bringing in Rodgers doesn't just mean you're getting a quarterback one. You're also solving your wide receiver two issue, because I assume that his butt buddy, Davante Adams, would follow suit. And this is a guy who I still think has at least one or two good seasons left in the tank. Davante Adams, you know, you could say whatever you want about him at age 32, was still really productive last year for two dysfunctional organizations in the Jets and the Raiders. In 11 games for two really bad teams, was still 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. I mean, you'll take that. When you don't have a wide receiver two next to George Pickens, I would take those numbers any day of the week. Again, you could say whatever you want about Aaron Rodgers, but if you're the Steelers, what other options do you have? Seriously, you don't have a good enough draft pick to get the top quarterbacks in overall weak class. Sam Darnold's interesting, but I think all signs point to him remaining as a Viking. So who's left? Russell Wilson again? Really? You know how that ends, and you couldn't score. Or Justin Fields, a guy who got benched for Russ, and the offense got better. Give me a break. So I say to Steelers fans, suck it up and rally behind Aaron Rodgers as your starter. Now, if you put your ear close to the franchise doors of the Steelers over there at Heinz Field, well, it's not Heinz Field anymore, but you know what I'm saying, the front office doors, there's not a lot of interest in the Aaron Rodgers business in Pittsburgh. And it seems like the priority right now in that quarterback room is bringing back at least Fields or Russell Wilson in the room. And all eyes look on Justin Fields right now. But let me just say this about Fields, because if he becomes a starter, oh my God, Steelers fans, I got to ask, what do you see in Justin Fields? I understand the guy went, 4-2 as a starter, 11 total touchdowns to 1 interception as a Steeler last year. But the fact that that wasn't enough to avoid being benched by Russell Wilson in the year of 2024 tells me all I need to know on how the Steelers view him. That he's just quite not good enough. Oh, but we're going to start him because of the upside. What are you talking about upside? The guy is 26 years old going into year 5. I'm a believer in, bro, I don't want to hear about upside past year 3 or 4, because you're kind of just hard who you are at this point. And who Justin Fields is today, exceptional athlete, don't get me wrong, exceptional leader. But he still holds on the ball for too damn long. And I love saying this, but Fields still can't see the field. Compare that to Aaron Rodgers, even at 42, who he will be that in December of next year, can still throw the ball pretty well. No, I don't think that many people still throw a prettier ball than Rodgers. And I think he can lead better offenses even at his old age than a Justin Fields offense. Go back to those stats I just showed you. 8 in passing touchdowns. 8 in passing yards, 7 in passing touchdowns. Justin Fields couldn't dream of those numbers leading an offense. Now, like me too, I'm not the biggest fan of Rodgers as a personality. Rodgers off the field. I don't really like all the McAfee appearances. I don't like the politics, the takeover of organizations. But let's face it. I saw his documentary. I saw that documentary. I see a quarterback who fights, who is determined to go out on a high note, have one more good season. And I think if you bring him in Pittsburgh, a stable organization, a stable coaching staff, Mike Tomlin, been there for 18 years, never losing season, breath of fresh air from the Jets. Elite defense, decent weapons, his buddy at wide receiver number 2, he can make it work. Again, this is a franchise that the last couple of years has made the playoffs with Mason freaking Rudolph and Russell Wilson. And you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers can't. I don't care that he's 42 years old. I think he could possibly sneak in the playoffs with the Steelers' infrastructure. Now, my real opinion, if it were up to me, I would blow it up if I was Pittsburgh, going a little rebuild for a couple of years. But Pittsburgh, that's not their way. They still want to compete. So if you're going to want to compete in a division with Joe Burrow, in a division with Lamar Jackson, some of the NFL's best, well, you better put the best quarterback out there on the table. And to me, that's Aaron Rodgers. But let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media, stay updated on all things related to the show. Until next time, see you.